Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the CREST23 Business Awards. Please welcome to the stage Carol Miller and Terry Tidbury.
We're here. Thank you. Welcome to CREST23 Business Awards presentation. It's lovely to see so many familiar faces as well as some new faces. My name is Carol Miller, and I'm co-director of CREST Business Awards, and along with Terry, who's my business partner, and we're so glad that we've reached the third award ceremony. It's been an incredible day today. We've come to what is the highlights now, but I have to say, we've just had a seminar from Joanna Yarrow and Lorenzo Fioramonti, and it was absolutely inspiring. And we've now had a chance to meet some of the businesses with the business exhibition, and thank you to all the stall holders. But before I hand over to Terry, we've got some housekeeping notes, and also I've got a spoiler alert. In recognition of the achievement of our winners tonight, we are going to be giving them these beautiful handmade wooden trophies. And we are also going to be giving them sustainability consulting vouchers donated by one of our closest partners, the Centre for Environment and Sustainability at the University of Surrey. Each one of these vouchers entitles the award category winners to receive a highly valuable consultation session with a specialist academic and researcher. Tonight's sustainability hero will receive an amazing opportunity, which is a sustainability professional development voucher entitling him or her to a place on a CES continuing professional development module of his or her choice. They've been printed symbolically on seeded paper. So we hope these vouchers will help your businesses to grow and flourish as a green enterprise. And we look forward to hearing from you to hear about the outcomes. Now, on a practical note, many of you will have heard the housekeeping notes from the WWF, but some of you weren't here. So should there be an alarm, it won't be a drill, and we will need you to evacuate the building using the nearest clear exit. Those unable to use stairs should make their way to refuge points situated at the landings at the top of the stairs, where they will receive assistance. Do not use the passenger lift, and do not stop to return to other areas of the building to retrieve personal belongings. The assembly point is at the front of the building, on the right of the bike sheds at car park level. Please stay off the road to allow emergency and other vehicles access. If at any time you require first aid, please speak to a member of staff who will arrange a first aider to attend to you. Alternatively, if you report it to the reception, they'll help. Toilets are located on the entrance level in the gallery area and on the mezzanine level, through the corridor on the canal side of the building. No smoking is permitted on the site, including the veranda area outside the reception. So if you wish to smoke, please walk down to the canal where there's a smoking station. Finally, a general request to everyone, please make sure your mobile phone is switched off or is on silent during the event. And now I'm going to hand over to Terry.
Thank you. I'm going to repeat some of this. Today has been a very big day for CREST Business Awards, introducing the CREST seminar, for which we thank Joanna Yarrow and Professor Lorenzo Fioramonti, who gave us really valuable insights and very, very interesting. We've also had an opportunity to meet some of the great Surrey businesses who are living examples of green business in the CREST Green Business Exhibition. This has included some of our CREST23 awards entrants, and we thank them all for letting us find out more about their initiatives. And now we come to the highlight of the 2023 convention, the CREST23 Business Awards, which are being hosted for the third year by our great friend and supporter, Joanna Yarrow. But before Joanna takes on her role as host, we would like to welcome our guest of honour, His Majesty's Lord Lieutenant of Surrey, Mr. Michael Moore Molyneux. We felt very honoured that you were kind enough to officially open CREST23 to entries in March, so we consider it a great privilege that your support of Surrey's only Green Business Awards has continued, and you've agreed to launch our awards ceremony here at the WWF. Mr. Michael Moore Molyneux.
Gosh, what a build-up. After that, I'm not some very intelligent university professor with lots of letters after their name. I'm a retired country peasant, i.e. a farmer. But I am delighted to be here, and especially having been with you in March at Clarendon. And I was thinking what to say today, and this morning I've told a couple of people this, I was at Sandown Park, not watching the horses, but it was the 100th Beekeepers Association conference and exhibition. And I was talking to one of the judges there, and like any organisation, you know, all the members are so enthusiastic and enthused, and beekeeping is no exception to the rule. And he said, "Do you know how many buds, flowers it takes for a bee to make a £1 pot of honey?" And I said something. I said 10,000, and he said, "Try 2 million." 2 million, quite extraordinary. And he said, but the problem is, of course, that habitat for the bees is declining, and so is the food. And I thought, well, that's an interesting little fact for this afternoon. It was my take-home statistic from the morning. But as I say, it's a real pleasure to be with you at the launch of the 23 Business Awards. And I think CREST is such a fantastic, I think what you do is rather lost in CREST. Corporate responsibility for the environment and a sustainable tomorrow. I mean, what an important statement that is. And it must be about the most important thing in the world today. I know we've got some horrors going on, and we always will have, but if we don't have the planet, then we're totally shot. And I was listening to a professor talking about the planets the other day, and he said, don't think that all this talk about Mars and all the other planets we'll find somewhere else to live. He said, we're on the best one at the moment by a long chalk, and if we louse it up, we are in for trouble, which we all know. I think it's fair to say that 5 years ago we would not have been present at an event like this. Companies, organisations, universities, places of education, etc. are all on a passage to lower their carbon footprint. There was a time when we tended to think that this was not a great responsibility, and I do believe that the majority of the country now know otherwise. Having visited a number of schools over the last year, it is quite evident that the young people have got it. They understand the need for reducing our fossil fuels, for planting trees and reducing our carbon footprint. And one little boy at a school, who I think he came up to below my waist, said, do you know how much we're saving because of our solar energy? And I said, I haven't got a clue, tell me. And he said, £54 a year. And I said, that's fantastic. But it wasn't so much the £54, it was the fact that he was really excited about the fact that he was saving, or the school was saving energy through natural forces. So I went to agricultural college. I was somewhat miffed that my son went to the same college which was then called a university, did the same course as me and got a degree. But anyway, we won't go into that. But one thing that always worries me about my time there was that we were taught how to grow 3 tons of wheat an acre, and that we should put more fertilizer onto the ground, and we should put more concentrates into our cows to produce more milk, et al. But I knew far less than those school children I visited. I had got no idea about solar panels or the fact that trees were so important to reduce the carbon footprint. And I think that's a great step forward. And if the children have got it, the teachers have got it, and that then rubs off on the family. So I do think the whole of this thing has to be driven from down below upwards. And I know we're talking about companies and firms and organizations, but still, where it comes from, I think is significant. Perhaps I can finish these few words by saying congratulations in advance to those who have won awards. And for those who have missed out, don't forget there will be another important set of awards to be won next year, which will do nothing but good for our environment and for your company. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Moore-Molyneux. And please give a round of applause as we welcome to the stage our host for the evening, Joanna Yarrow.
Thank you, Terry, and thank you, Michael, and thank you, Carol, for a wonderful introduction, and thank you for the opportunity to be here at the 3rd CREST Sustainability Awards. The first one I hosted from my kitchen table. So life has improved immeasurably in many ways, and it is genuinely an honour, not just as someone from Sussex, not Surrey, to be here, but as someone who's been working in sustainability for a while. It's great to see the upswell of diversity, energy, and quality in just one county on this agenda just in those 3 years. I don't know why Sussex doesn't have the equivalent. I shall point them in your direction. Wouldn't it be nice to have a regional championships in due course? Anyway, for this year, it's great to be back here. Thank you. It's a great honour to witness the shortlists, and very exciting to see the winners in all the categories. Well, we've got a few to get through tonight. So without further ado, I'm going to move on to the first of our awards, which is a new category this year. It's the first of 3 new awards, building on the theme of bees and the need to restore every facet of the natural world that supports us, without which, of course, there's not much that we can do. This category is sponsored by WWF, who are hosting us here in their very beautiful building tonight. So I'd like to hand over now to Lauren Wiseman, Environmental Manager of WWF UK, to tell us a little bit about WWF and then to announce the winner.
Sorry, too eager then. Thanks. Hi everyone, it's me again. Hopefully this time I won't forget what species we adopt at WWF. So I'm Lauren, Environmental Manager here at WWF, and I love this building, so thank you all for being here with me. So at WWF, we work on 3 key things. We work on protecting species and habitats, we work on slowing climate change, and we work on fixing the food system. And central to all of these things is restoring nature. We can't achieve any of those if we don't focus on nature, at least in part. So we're currently living in this dual crisis of climate change and biodiversity loss. Since the 1970s, we've seen a 69% decline in populations of monitored species. And that's just the populations that we're actually monitoring. There's countless other species out there that don't get monitored, and they may be in far greater jeopardy. We've also seen average temperature rise of around 1.2 degrees since pre-industrial levels, and we're heading towards 1.5 and 2 degrees by 2050, if not sooner. For life on Earth, every increment of temperature change matters. So currently, we've lost 50% of warm water coral. At 1.5 degrees, we lose 70 to 90%, and at 2 degrees, we'll be losing 99 to 100% of all of those corals. And they're not just great to look at and very beautiful, they also provide essential ecosystem services, such as flood defenses. They prop up the chain of life within that coral reef ecosystem as well as having other immeasurable benefits, such as cultural value. And we're heading towards this future where if we reach 1.5 degrees of temperature rise, that will become the main driver of biodiversity loss. So it's really essential that we consider nature and work to slowing that increase in temperature. And what's at the heart of this biodiversity loss? It's a rapid rise in consumption, unsustainable production, demand for natural resources, and over-exploitation of those resources. So at WWF, we talk about bending the curve. So we're seeing this downward trajectory of biodiversity loss. And what we want to happen, we don't want to just stop biodiversity loss and stop in its tracks and live with whatever's left. We want to bend that curve back upwards and restore nature, because it's a very depressing sight if we were to just lose half of all the species and live with it. So to bend the curve, we can't just rely on cutting emissions. We have to work on conservation and restoration of nature. We have to work on responsible production and consumption, and we have to have a rapid and steep cut in carbon emissions across all sectors. We have to be nature positive. We can't be nature net carbon neutral. So at WWF, with our work on food, we often get asked, why are you working on food? What has that got to do with climate or species? Well, 70% of all the land in the UK is agricultural land. And I think you'd agree with me that that's a hell of a lot of possibility for good or bad. So we work with farmers and we work with supermarkets to implement regenerative agriculture, because we need to find a food system that's going to help to feed everyone in our country, but that also benefits nature around us, that improves soil health, that stops sewage seeping into our freshwater ecosystems, and that is also cost-effective for those farmers so that they're not dissuaded. So by putting in place these measures, hopefully we can change this curve and bend it upwards for the better. And currently, the UK sits in the bottom 10% of the league table of all the countries in the world for biodiversity loss. We're in the bottom 10%. So we are one of the most nature-depleted nations in the world, which is quite embarrassing when you look at some of the countries around the world. So I think you'll agree with me that restoring nature would be a fantastic thing for the UK. So we all have potential in this room as people who work for organisations and in our own personal lives to help restore nature where we live, where we work, and wherever we go by implementing these sustainable practices. So that's enough of me talking, and I'll actually get on to the exciting part now. We had some fantastic entries this year. It's really inspiring and gives me some hope to see businesses taking action and implementing those changes, especially in Surrey, where we live. So we'll get on to the nominees. It's always embarrassing when tech doesn't work in your own building. So the nominees are Roots for the Future, Plant Passion, and Albury Organic Vineyard. And oh no, we go on to the little videos next. I practiced this, didn't I? Are they going to play? There we go. Someone else is going to hit play for me.
My name's Francesca. I'm from Roots for the Future. We are a Godalming-based social enterprise, and we bring people together to plant trees near to where they live, learn, work and play. We were really excited to be finalists in the CREST23 Restoring Nature Award. We're a really small organisation. We work mostly in My name's Francesca. I'm from Roots for the Future. We are a Godalming-based social enterprise, and we bring people together to plant trees near to where they live, learn, work and play. We were really excited to be finalists in the CREST23 Restoring Nature Award. We're a really small organisation. We work mostly in Waverley. We've done some work in Guildford as well. And we do have a project that's further away from us coming up, but mostly we're a hyper-local organisation. And so we do feel like we're quite small and a small impact, but small local impact. And that is our intention, to be at a local level. And we hope that our work has ripple effects, especially the fact that we engage children with the vision that we hope to inspire the next generation to live more harmoniously with nature. So to have our work recognised at a Surrey-wide level is really heartening, and so we're really pleased to be finalists amongst some other really amazing organisations as well.
I'm Claire from Plant Passion, and I'm a flower farmer here in the Surrey Hills. I've put my company forward for the Restoring Nature Award because in the last 11 years we've taken a field on a chalky slope that had nothing on it and had been grazed by horses, and we've turned it into an amazing area for biodiversity. We grow a wide range of flowers that we sell to various local people for events, and for florists, and for just for people to enjoy at home. And by growing a wide range of flowers, we have already changed the cut flower industry by having a biodiversity of flower species rather than a monoculture. Because we grow so many different flowers, over the 11 years we have encouraged in a whole range of wildlife, and nature has restored itself on our 4-acre field, and we have a wonderful selection of butterflies, of bees, lots of other insects, and some larger things as well. Some of them aren't necessarily our friends, but we have a wide range of nature on our field, and so that's why I've put us forward for this award.
My name is Alessandra Valsecchi, and I'm here representing today Albury Vineyard. We are sustainable in many ways, not just in the practices that we adopt in the vineyard throughout the growing season, but we also have tried to embrace nature, embrace the surrounding of the Surrey Hills. And how we've done that? We have planted a new vineyard in an area next to the vineyard that we already were maintaining, and we have tried to do it supporting the environment around us, supporting the biodiversity around us. And we have allowed areas of nature to be so. So we left a part of this area unspoiled, and we have created a wildlife walk throughout the vineyard. And for this reason, we have been nominating for the Restoring Nature Award for CREST23. And we're very proud of it, and we hope that this will be an extra tick on the boxes to show the world.
Thank you very much. Right, and the award goes to, it is Albury Organic Vineyard. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I just wanted to finish the sentence. We just wanted to show people that we can do sustainability through a glass of wine. So that's the message through. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes, who says sustainability shouldn't be fun? Well, congratulations. Now, moving on to our second award of the night. This is also a new award for this year, and this is the Sustainability Impact Award, and all the contenders for this award were businesses with an annual turnover of under £1 million. And to present this award, I'd like to hand over to Professor Lorenzo Fiomonti, who's the founding partner of the Institute of Sustainability here at Surrey University.
Less technology this time, so it's not going to stop, and I'd like to congratulate all finalists to begin with. I think, you know, at the end of the day, making it to getting this award, it's just a symbol of commitment, and the commitment goes, needless to say, you know, like it's a common trait, and everyone should be recognized for what they've achieved. So it's always a bit painful to have to select one, and I know that my colleagues have been it's been extremely complicated to find a final winner. So I have to say that the 2023. Oh, okay, there you go. So the three finalists are. So there was a technology. I couldn't see it there. The three finalists are Soul Cycle, For Earth's Sake, and Emborem. Do we have videos for them as well? Yes. I'll see whether it works this time. Again. Okay, For Earth's Sake. I'm agitated because okay. Are you going to push that thing? Okay, there you go.
So my name is Mark Batt-Rord, and I'm the Managing Director of a company called Envorem. The award that we're up for is the Sustainability Impact Award. And the reason why we put ourselves forward for this award was that the amount of material that we can clean with our new technology in an environmental way is just colossal. A ton of oily, sludgy material, generally, if incinerated, will release around a ton of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. A square kilometre of trees can only save 500 tonnes of carbon dioxide per year. Our system can save 50 tonnes of carbon dioxide per hour of operation. Just 12 of our systems displacing incineration could save more carbon dioxide going into the atmosphere from incinerating these materials than all the forests in the UK combined. And it doesn't stop there. Our technology is also applicable to ships that burn heavy fuel oil. Ships that burn heavy fuel oil generate a waste from their fuel oil that's an oily sludge. What our technology can do is to recycle those sludges on board the ship back into usable fuel. Some recent tests we've done, and we've found that over 90% of that material can be converted back into usable fuel for the ship. So all of a sudden we now have an incentive for the crew not to dump this material into the sea, but to put it back into the fuel system, increasing the fuel efficiency of the ship and reducing the pollution worldwide.
Hi, I'm Paul from Solar Cycle. We've been shortlisted for the Sustainability Impact Award at CREST Awards. We power the charge to more sustainable electric vehicle travel. We're doing this for employees within businesses, and we do this with the UK's first solar-powered e-bike charger. So we know that the growing demand for e-bike charging in the UK to meet that, we need better infrastructure, we need better support for people to make that shift from driving in a standard vehicle to driving in micro-mobility. So electric bikes being, the very best example of that. For employees, the real benefit to employees, the end users who are going to do this, first and foremost, it reduces their cost of living. So the cost of running and maintaining a car is around 47 pence a mile. The cost of running an e-bike, even a decent e-bike, is around 1 pence per mile. So it's significantly cheaper. It's better for your health. We know that. There's studies by Sustrans, Bikeability, Cycling UK, all these great organisations in the UK. They know that cycling is better for employees. You will be healthier, happier, and report more productivity at work. You're also going to have half as many sick days, and you've got this piece of transport that you can use, you can ride to work, and rather than having to pay for your electric to power that, like you might do with a car, with our solar powered chargers that your organisation will have installed, you get to use free green electric, and you're rewarded with that for free rather than penalised. You won't be charged for this for charging your e-bikes.
My name is Vanessa Ford-Robbins, and I have a shop on Cranley High Street called For Earth's Sake. It does what it says on the tin, so everything that is in it is refillable, and it is a no plastic, zero waste shop. And annually we have worked out that our customers have not had to buy about 10,000 yearly, so that's about 50,000 over the 5 years, shampoo, containers, conditioners, household, all the plastic bottles that you buy off the supermarket. If you go to the supermarket every day, and if you didn't go and had just refilled the first one that you bought, you have saved the planet over the 5 years about 50,000 plastic bottles. There's about 10,000 road miles that we have done delivering by electric vehicles. About 8,000 yearly single-use plastic food wrappers, pastas, all of that kind of thing. All you have to do, bring your container along, put it underneath our dispenser, pull the dispenser, off you go. It'll be cheaper. It'll also be better quality. 4,000 plastic milk or Tetra Packs a year. 1,000 single-use plastic bread wrappers. I mean, it goes on and on and on, and you just multiply it up by the number of years that we're doing with the number.
So it seems to be a bit of a trend that we truncate the last interview. So, but now it's time. You see, Joanna is nervous because she doesn't want me to make any other mistake, obviously. So, Sustainability Impact Award. It's the first time I do it, and I cannot resist the temptation to say that the winner is For Earth's Sake. Finish the sentence here by the mic.
Right, I've got a foghorn of a voice, so you probably don't need the mic. But I'm amazed with the other finalists. They're doing such amazing work. My God, we've all just got to get together. We really have. Join the dots up, make sense of this whole ridiculous world that we live in, and just try to reuse, have a circular society. Instead of going shooting off in a straight line, let's try and, make the whole thing go round and try and save this beautiful, beautiful planet before it's too late. So everybody, refill, recycle, and just the circular. Thank you.
Thank you. Well done. Fantastic. Very wise words. Thank you. And thank you, Lorenzo. Now, moving on to our third award of the evening for Smarter Transport. Now, the sponsor of this award is Surrey County Council. And to introduce the award, I'd like to call up to the stage Matt Furness, who is Surrey County Council Cabinet Member for Transport.
Thank you very much. Excellent. Oh, thank you very much. There we go. Right, I'll leave it on there for a second. Be very brief, because the last thing you want to hear is a politician waffle on. So, 41% of all carbon emissions in Surrey comes from transport. We have got a massive challenge ahead. But up on the screen there is showing our commitment to Surrey County Council. We are purchasing hydrogen electric buses. We are in partnership with National Highways to switch out commercial vehicles into electric. So please go and talk to the fabulous team outside about that, where you can get up to £10,000 as a grant. Buses is our key one that we're really pushing. We're having on-demand buses. This is like an Uber. You can have a bus come to your door and take you where you need to go for £1. We've halved the charge for bus fares for 20 and under. If they are on the price cap, those young people can actually travel for £1 going forward. We are really, really pushing ahead with this. 20,000 journeys were made on our on-demand alone last year in Mole Valley. In addition to that, we have one of the largest EV contracts with Connected Curb. Rollout is happening in the hundreds at the moment. It will be thousands in the next couple of years, particularly for those people who want to make the choice but can't because they don't have an off-street drive. They're all on-street as well. 30 enterprise car clubs, and we are really pushing ahead. So I'll stop talking about Surrey County Council now, and we'll move on to the finalists. And so the three finalists are Solar Cycle, Waverley Hopper, and Cocoon Kids. And I'll let the team at the back do this bit.
Hi, I'm Paul from Solar Cycle. We've been shortlisted for 2 awards with CREST Awards, which we're really proud to have been involved with so far. One is for Smarter Transport, one is for sustainability impact. So Solar Cycle is it's the UK's first electric solar-powered charging unit available for organisations who want to meet their transport, environmental and employee well-being goals. Very simple. From a transport perspective, the product enables businesses in a kind of financially and environmentally sustainable way to put in electric bike charging to meet the growing demand for e-bike cyclists. It works in several ways. So we free up a parking space. So by putting in electric charging, you can free up one parking space that would be used for a vehicle, an EV or a ICE-powered vehicle. And we know that the more cycles on the road, the more cycle to work, we're improving CO2, we're improving people's lives, traffic, and the organisation gets to do this in a financially sustainable way, because rather than installing in expensive mains-powered grid charging, it's one unit, it's pop-up, goes straight in, starts working day one. All the energy is completely green, it's from the sun, and it goes into e-bikes, which have these tiny little batteries. And we know that for every kilowatt we serve, a bicycle will travel approximately 60 miles. That's really important to the organisation, because when they've got people commuting to work, travelling to work, for work, at work. These journeys are typically under 5 miles. And we can change those journeys to e-bike journeys just by making the shift, by enabling better infrastructure, and that includes charging and other things. And that's what SolarCycle aim to do.
Hello, I'm Richard Davis and I'm the General Manager of Waverley Hopper Community Transport. We're a community transport charity that's operated in Waverley Borough Council for over 21 years. We offer a range of accessible transport solutions and services, from patient transport to school routes to dial-a-ride to traditional mainstream bus routes and to also demand responsive transport. We're very excited to be up for the Smarter Transport Award at this year's CREST23 Awards. We're on our journey to net zero with our fleet of 27 minibuses, of which now are 2 electric minibuses. Our fleet covers over 400,000 miles a year, so we have a massive opportunity to reduce our carbon footprint. So as I say, we've already got 2 minibuses that are fully electric. We've placed an order for 2 more and we're looking at further funding to increase our fleet numbers. We're also in partnership with Clipper Automotive looking at retrofitting our diesel minibuses with electric engines. And that way we can reduce our carbon footprint in a much cheaper way than buying new electric minibuses. We're also looking at new technology to maximise our utilisation and minimise our mileage across the network.
Hi, I'm Helen from Cocoon Kids Creative Counselling and Play Therapy Kick. We're a lived experience not-for-profit therapeutic service that children and young people aged 3 to 19 and their families use to safely explore their experiences. All of our families are disadvantaged and have intergenerational trauma and adverse childhood experiences, much the same as myself and the other directors as well. Our families also live in social housing or insecure housing. We're delighted to be the finalists for the Smarter Transport Award for CREST 2023, in particular for our EAV tricycle, e-cargo tricycle. Why that's important to us, well, millions of reasons, but especially because many of our families, the children, young people, are young carers. Their parents have COPD or asthma or disabilities. So being able to have a emission-free transport is really important to us. It means that we're ensuring that our families, we're ensuring that their health continues to improve rather than impact it greater. For us as well, it's excellent because obviously there's no emissions. We miss the ULEZ charge, which is wonderful, but the e-cargo trike itself is refurbished. It's a second-hand one. It's made from recycled materials, it's recyclable itself, and so it's really sustainable and circular, which is incredibly important to us.
Excellent. No, really congratulations to all three. It's going to take all of us walking, cycling and taking the buses a bit more. So I'm very pleased to announce that the award for Smarter Transport goes to SolarCycle.
I'm amazed, genuinely. It was a really difficult category, I think, and really worthy shortlisted people there. Well, I know I've spoken to both Cocoon Kids and Hopper, Waverley Hopper, but I'm really proud to have won this, and it's a huge pat on the back for my business. And I also wanted to say thank you to my first customer who I brought with me this evening. You might have met him, Andy at St Peter's Hospital. They were the first place in the country to put in solar-powered e-bike charging. So they gave us our first gig, and yeah, thanks Andy, and thanks everyone else.
Sorry, Mel. Thank you, Matt and Joanna. It's now my great pleasure to introduce you to Professor Richard Murphy, Director of the Centre for Environment and Sustainability. I was first introduced to Richard back in 2019 when Carol and I were setting up CREST, and without whom we would not be standing here this evening. Richard not only embraced the concept of CREST Business Awards, but immediately opened doors to the university academics, and since inception, the CES have provided all the prizes to our award winners. He's been our guiding light and our most ardent supporter. But rather than listen to me, let's hear from the man himself. Please give a warm welcome to the stage, Professor Richard Murphy.
Terry and Carol, thank you very much for that introduction. I wasn't expecting it. I can see that people who are here are not expecting a lot of things to happen. I would just like to give you a very quick overview of CES, our Centre for Environment and Sustainability at the University of Surrey, and maybe also link that a bit to why we got behind the CREST Awards. These are some of the tools that my colleagues in CES, our PhD students, our researchers, and the people we train use. So we use a very wide array of tools and techniques to try and understand and represent sustainability and sustainable solutions. We have a very strong reputation in life cycle assessment, systems analysis, in other words, but we combine that with a lot of interest in the social sciences and with sustainability, economics, and finance. So we look at all three pillars of sustainability. Potted history. Some of you will know Professor Roland Clift. Those who do know him will know him. Founded in 1992, so we have about 30 plus years of experience at working in a multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary way in sustainability. We do research and teaching, and so it's a real pleasure to be here jointly with my colleague, co-director at the Institute of Sustainability at the university, because that's widened the reach, if you like, of what the university can offer to those interested in sustainability. The big drivers for us are to work with local, regional and international partnerships, and some of that is to build our reputation. But I'm of the generation that can remember Rio 92 and the Agenda 21. We're now in 21, by the way, but think global, act local, and we still believe that. We offer state-of-the-art training at BSc level. We just launched a brand new undergraduate BSc course in environment and sustainability this year. We've got 17 fantastic young people who've joined this program and are really co-developing it with us. We've been teaching an MSc course. We have 90 students on it, and we've been doing that since 1992. And we've got about 50 PhD students who work at the centre as well. The other thing I've underlined there is we offer the modules of our MSc program as continuing professional development. So they can be taken by anybody who wants to come and pick up a module in, let's say, circular economy or in foundations of sustainable development. And indeed, that's some of the prizes. And by the way, I've heard various jokes about this. But, where first prize you get to do a module at CES, and it's not that second prize you get to do 2 modules, okay? We've got a really great sort of collaborative and engaged staff. I'm talking about academics, support staff, and our PhD students. So we number about 75 people. So that's a real asset, I think, for Surrey and wider afield. And we're on your doorstep. And we're partners in the university with the Institute for Sustainability. CES and CREST, and as Terry very kindly said, when the idea was brought to us, we really thought straight away, yes, this is something we want to do. Remember that, local Agenda 21. So we are, I'd say, co-founders of it. We got behind it from day one, and the team. We support the awards with prizes, and these two in particular. Opportunities locally, I think, which I hope is of interest to the businesses here, is that we've got a group of really talented, dynamic students who are very, very keen to work on projects with local businesses and organisations. So if you
have ideas, you would like a bit of extra capacity in your team at work and things on a short project or a internship placement, do come and talk to us, because we'd love to present these opportunities to our students, and they will get credit for it as part of their course. In the BSc course, the students can take a whole year working with an outside organisation as a sort of sandwich year, and that will start in 2025. The other thing we can do with our academics is that we can collaborate with you in research funding bids and other types of bids as partners. And we would like to bring you in as partners for things that we would like to bid for as well. So again, do talk to us, because we're local, and we're quite accessible and reasonably friendly, I think, as well. Just a very quick example here, and we've heard a lot about sustainable transport here, but this is just an example of some of the outputs we do. You might imagine that academics like to write sort of turgid and rather long reports or publish papers in inaccessible academic journals. Of course we do. But we can also produce outputs in much other types of forms, including video and film, and IFS has done a very, very good film as well. And this is just an output from an Engineering and Physical Sciences Research Council funded Network Plus grant in blah, blah, blah. You might imagine it could be a bit dull. We produced this for them, and they were really excited about it, and it's been taken around to parliamentarians and has invoked a whole lot of discussions about the transitions from current situation through the transitional state to a sort of circular economy future. And as you might see, it's multi-mode. So we have included not just cars, road vehicles, but there's trains, planes, cycles, even a motorbike, actually, which I insisted on having in there. So thank you very much. It's been a delight to say a few words here about the centre I work for, and I believe very much in. Please do come and join us at our annual Roland Clift lecture. That will be on the 15th of November. It's an open public lecture. You just register with the university. Some I know have already received invitations for this, and more will be going out. I'd like to point to a second thing, which is the Enterprise M3 Net Zero webinar series with ASLR. That's with Chris Fry's company. We work closely with Chris and have done for many years. This is a very interesting series of free webinars, so do go onto that website and have a look. And finally, don't be strangers, do get in touch with us. And as I said, we're on your doorstep and you're on ours. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Richard. And I can actually say personally, I have first-hand experience of the pleasures of working with Richard and the team at the Centre of Environmental Sustainability. Those of you who were here earlier this afternoon for the seminars, I talked a little bit about the Live Largon project that we set up while I was at IKEA, working very much hand in hand with the University of Surrey. And they really helped us to both design a project that had integrity and was quantified, brought in the academic rigour and outside-in thinking. And I think we had one of your PhD students with us for 3 years, who then has become something of a specialist in the field. So that coming together of the business and academic world to address common problems, certainly for IKEA, helped to foment some solutions which are still in play some 8 years on. So I would highly recommend exploring a partnership or relationship if Richard has piqued your interest this evening. Now, moving on to our fourth award of the night. This is for circular efficiency. And this award is sponsored by Carol Miller Media. And I would therefore like to introduce Carol Miller.
Thank you. Yes. When I first came up with the idea for an environmental award for businesses, it was very exciting to find how many people supported the idea. And I believe every single one of the categories that we have are really relevant to what we believe in. but I'm a journalist by trade and training, and I'm also a public relations consultant. And I tend to look for the sweet spot in things, the news story, what's at the heart of whatever I'm reading, talking about, or who I'm listening to. And in this case, I do believe that circular efficiency stands out as just that. So while I feel that everyone here today is doing an amazing job by supporting this whole ethos, and you can all go home to your families and look your children and your grandchildren in the eye and say, yes, I am doing something to protect the world, to make it a better place for you. But in the case of circular efficiency, I believe the businesses who entered this category have really got to the nub of what we're aiming for as sustainable businesses. Yes, business is measured by the profit that we make or want to make, and it's needed to survive and grow. But traditional thinking, as we heard earlier from both Lorenzo and from Joanna, it's not going to work. The ends do not justify the means. You have to consider the whole holistic approach to the environment, the people who work for you. And to be quite honest with you, it's not just our clients and our customer base that want to know that we're being sustainable. As we heard from our speakers, it's also our employees, and they are your best ambassadors. And they want to know that we're taking action. We hear too much about communities that are flooded out, tracts of land that are burnt out, and human detritus that's washed up on our seas and shores. And we want to know that our businesses are working for a better place. And what a better way to do that than through circular efficiency, to meet our client demands. And to be honest, it is a profitable way to work, and it's more efficient. So I'm now going to get down from my soapbox and move on to the finalists. But I'm the only one who didn't go for a rehearsal, so I'm going to ask Streaming Fish if you can do the honors on the screen for me. And let's see the videos. We have For Earth's Sake, Be Friends, and Food Float.
My name is Vanessa Ford-Robbins, and I have a shop on Cranley High Street called For Earth's Sake, and it does what it says on the tin. It is for the Earth's sake. So we need to live in a circular society. So this award of the circular efficiency is absolutely crucial to us all. And you have to take, you have to make, and you have to recycle it. So we try and have local goods, which are bought by local people, which are either consumed, and then if they're not consumed, they can go into a compost heap, they can come round. It is circular. Everything has to be circular. So to try and get energy from the sun, to be able to drive one's car, to be able to grow one's plants, the whole thing needs to be circular, and people need to start thinking about how. So we are going to be having a lot of talks and events at our Great Green Barn, which is just the other side of Cranley, for local people to be able to discuss, interchange ideas about how in each of our lives we can try and be more of a circular nature.
Thank you for selecting us, Be Friends, as finalists for the CREST23 Award, Circle Impact. This is an award that we feel we're proud to take part, and we feel as a small family business we can, with many different steps, make a little bit of a difference to the environment. And we care about the bees, but we also care about the environment. And hopefully other businesses will perhaps, take up some of our initiatives, and together we can make even a bigger difference. Thank you.
Yeah, hello. I'm Paul, Director of Food Float Community Interest Company.
Hi, I'm Tim, also Director of Food Float Community Interest Company.
We're based in Dorking. We serve the local community. We're a hybrid food business. We've got a market stall, quite a large market stall, 2 days a week. We then got an online shop and do a delivery service. We've got 35 local growers, small producers and suppliers, and what we're about is actually creating a marketplace for those people to sell and grow their businesses.
One of the bedrocks of the business when it was first set up was possibly the most important factor is what is our effect on the environment. I think primarily the fact that we source our products from within 20 miles of where the stall is a big part of it. But also the producers that we work with are continually looking at the ways they can reduce plastic, they can reduce packaging, they can reduce the miles that are involved with their business. And that has always been a big part. Having now obtained the grant and we have the electric vehicle, it's a real indication as the electric vehicle travels around the town about it rubber stamps the ethos of what we're about and how conscious we are of our effect on the environment.
Yeah, we're really proud of being nominated for the Circular Efficiency Award. We think it's a perfect example of what we're all about on the ethos of Food Float Community Interest Company.
Right, so the winner is Be Friends, Sergio.
To check my heartbeat because I had a couple of episodes this evening. Well, I had a big episode at the end of August, so I'm just going to check if I'm on 140 again or no, only 89. So that's good. So far, so no need to call 999. Yeah, thank you very much. I'm taking this award on behalf of the 11, more or less, million bees that we look after, and yes, I can. Confirm the figure of 2 million flights for one bee to make a jar of honey. I've counted them all. Thank you all the very best. Thank you.
Yeah, my mental arithmetic just gets a little bit blown at that point. I'm not going to try and do anything clever, but that's congratulations. That's a lot of bees, a lot of flights, and a lot of flowers that we're going to need. Right, so moving on. I've lost my place. It is time for a break. There we are, time for a break. There was me thinking that you had to have another one. So, time for a break. Thank you. Congratulations to the first half of our award winners. Toilets are downstairs, should you need them. The bar, which you will need, is just outside. We have half an hour. We will have a tannoy giving you a 5-minute warning, but please keep an eye on your watches, and I look forward to seeing you back here in 30 minutes. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. The event is about to continue.
Enjoyed the break and had a chance to visit to some of the stands. There's much still to come, so let me welcome Joanna back to the stage.
Lovely, thank you, Terry, and welcome back, everyone. I hope you're suitably refreshed. So, moving swiftly on, aptly, having hopefully everyone just had something to eat, the next award is not for purpleness, it's for transforming food. And to announce this award, which is sponsored by Surrey Wildlife Trust, I would like to introduce Sarah Jane Chimbwandira, Chief Executive of the Surrey Wildlife Trust.
Hi everyone, really nice to see you all. Thank you very much for inviting Surrey Wildlife Trust to present this award. We're absolutely delighted. And it might seem a slightly odd one to be talking about food, and I obviously work for the Wildlife Trust, but that connection between nature and food production is absolutely integral and a discussion that we should all be having. And Lauren spoke earlier so eloquently about the connection between nature and food. And as Michael mentioned, you know, we cannot produce any food if we don't have pollinators and bees. So connecting those things is really important. As an organisation, we've been around now for over 60 years, and our passion is about restoring nature in Surrey because nature underpins everything. We cannot have clean air, clean water, food, fuel, shelter, any of the fundamental basics that people require if we do not have a healthy natural environment. And that's why I'm so pleased to see businesses really starting to think about what that means for them, and those sort of entrepreneurs that are coming forward into this space. It's really exciting to see what's happening there. We were formed by a group of passionate individuals over 60 years ago who cared about what happened to the nature in Surrey. And what I'm so pleased about this evening is to see that actually that coming together of passionate individuals is still what helps us to make the change that's needed. And I think the more of that we do, the more likely we are to succeed in the longer term. We work through our Wilder Schools and Communities programmes. We work with people all across the county, a whole wide range of communities, you know, different, right from tiny tots all the way up to older people coming through our education programmes, communities who see things not working in the way that they want it to in their local environment and are looking for all of us to help them and support them in taking action. They don't want us to do it for them. They want us to support them in taking action in their own local environments. And that's very much, therefore, what we're involved in. We also work with a very wide range of farmers and landowners across the county. Many of you may not realise that Surrey is actually a really small county by landmass. We're the third smallest county actually in the UK, but we have a population of over 1.1 million. We are also the most wooded county in England with over 24% woodland cover. We're also the only county that makes a net positive contribution to the Exchequer every year. So our economy is also really vital to what we do. But we have huge amounts of protected land in the county. So bringing all of those things together, making sure that we make the best use of the land that we have to deliver a high quality society for all of us is really what underpins bringing business into that conversation, which is why I'm so pleased to be able to talk about it. Sustainability in food production is absolutely key to maintaining the health of our local habitats for nature, but also the wider resilience of society and the natural world that sustains us. We are very proud to be associated, therefore, with this award this evening to recognise the steps that some of our best businesses are taking to put concern for nature at the heart of their operations. So we'll move now to see the finalists' video.
Hi, I'm Dan. I'm the founder of Chimney Fire Coffee. Chimney Fire Coffee is a B Corp certified specialty coffee roastery based at Denby's Wine Estate in the Surrey Hills. So what we do is we produce and supply a fully sustainable range of coffees, and we supply them to hospitality businesses. So that might be universities, restaurants, coffee shops, to offices, and also to homes via our online subscriptions. I'm really pleased to be nominated for the Food Transformation Award. Okay, so our mission is to create an environmentally and socially responsible business all the way from farm to cup. And we do that through three key objectives, really. So the first one is providing growers or producers with a sustainable source of income. Our policy is to pay at least double fair trade prices on average for all of our coffee. So that's what we've been doing to date, and that's what we continue to do. Secondly, we look to decrease our ecological footprint through reducing use of single-waste plastics, and also reducing our waste and our carbon emissions. So this year we actually reduced our carbon emissions by 20% within the roastery. We also moved to a paperless online fulfillment system. So that actually, as things stand currently, saves us about 20,000 sheets of paper a year. And then finally, all of our waste that we generate within the roastery now is used as fertilizer on the vineyard. So the third objective is providing social impact to our charity partners, really. The main organisation we work with is a company called Recycle. From last year, through donations, 114 bikes were sent to the Lara community in northwest Ghana. And that just enabled increased school attendance within the community there.
Hello, my name is Joe Roberts Walker. I'm the founder of Medusa. We make cold pressed ginger shots and we deliver them in the most sustainable way we can. That is everything delivered in glassware, which we collect, wash and reuse, and we don't use any carbon emitting vehicles for the delivery of our products. So we are nominated for the Transforming Food Award with the CREST Awards, which is, as you can probably see, means an incredible amount to me. It's our first business award that we've been nominated for or been asked to put ourselves forward for. So I guess to have some real validation adds to our credibility, really, and what we're really trying to do. And we do truly believe that what we're doing is sustainable. As a business, we're always reviewing our practices to make sure that we are as sustainable and using as little waste as possible, or accumulating as little waste as possible. And something that we started doing again, which I started at the beginning of the company, which was giving our excess pulp away to, which is our byproduct. We used to give it away to local farms and stables for the horses to eat and stuff like that. So we weren't chucking away good produce. So we get through a lot of apples, a lot of carrots, a lot of ginger. And now we've just joined with a farm locally as well that are going to take all of our wastage and put it in a compost bin. And that compost is going to be used to help various different things on the farm, particularly helping fruit and veg grow. So we're hoping this time next year to have some fruit and veg grown from the compost that we've donated. So it'll be like a fully cyclical model, which I'm really excited about.
Yeah, hello. I'm Paul, Director of Food Float, a community interest company.
I'm Tim, another Director of Food Float Community Interest Company.
Based in Dorking, we're a hybrid food company. We've got a market stall 2 days a week, and we've got an online shop, and we do deliveries as well. We're a very sustainably focused business. That's the ethos of everything that we do. We got 35 local growers, suppliers, producers, and that's what we're all about, supporting local businesses and keeping everything local.
I think primarily the way we transform food is that every single product that we have has a story, and behind every single product is an individual. And we base an awful lot on Christian names. So we have Simon's eggs, we have Nathan's eggs, we have John's vegetables. Makes it very personal. I think what I never appreciated until I got involved was there are these incredible hidden gems, and it's for us, it's not just about it being local, it's got to be top quality too.
So we've brought an example here of a small veg box that we deliver every week, and we particularly enjoy supplying wonky vegetables, sometimes rude shapes, but it makes everybody laugh, and that's also what it's about.
We're so grateful for just to be nominated for this award, because it genuinely is not about me and Paul, it's about the community from which we come. It's about people. It's about people with a genuine passion for what they produce. And also more than that, with our type of business, it's our wonderful volunteers. And without them, it would just never happen. So thank you.
Fabulous. So I'm really pleased to announce that the winner for the Transforming Food category is Food Float CIC.
Well, you probably noticed that I am neither Tim nor Paul, but we were admiring their video because we were hoping they'd say it's good night from me and it's good night from him. But they've really said it all. The food float is about three things really, and there are three groups we need to thank. There's the people like Tim and Paul who work at it plenty of hours a week, make it their job. There's a big group of volunteers, and a lot of Food Flow is about community and bringing the community together, and through the home deliveries and getting people to work on the stall and do it for free, and that's great. And then there's the producers, because they are absolutely key to the whole thing, and we're delighted to have such a wonderful group and surprising diversity of producers all within 20 miles of Dorking. Who knew? And it's a great honour to have this award, so thank you.
Congratulations, and what wonderful energy. So, I'd now like to invite our second presentation speaker to the stage, Councillor Marisa Heath, who's Cabinet Member for Environment and Climate Change.
Good evening, everyone. So last year, and the thing that I've heard most this evening is, how has it been a year since the last award? And then everyone tells me it's been 18 months, and I just think, my good God, what happens to time? But last year, I was so excited about what I heard that when I left, I went without my laptop and then caused absolute chaos for Paul Carroll by banging on the door of WWF at about midnight, having a minor meltdown. I'm so excited to be here again because this is one of my favourite award events in my role as Surrey Cabinet Member for Environment. I'd love to go off on a tangent about food because actually my day job is around sustainable food, but I won't. I'll stick to the script, and I'm here to talk about what Surrey's doing and just give everyone an update on where we are with Greener Futures. I think most of you will know a lot about what's on this slide already. You'll know that we as a county council have two objectives, and that is to get to net zero as an authority, and we're big employers, we control a lot of land, we have a lot of buildings, so we're planning to make that all net zero by 2030, and then our ambition is that Surrey as a county becomes net zero by 2050. And at the moment, we're in the process of doing two key pieces of work that you'll see more about soon. The first one of those is a climate change adaptation strategy, And this is because we're really aware that the impact of climate change isn't something theoretical, isn't something we're thinking about in the future, it's here now. And we're seeing it on the flooding that we're getting on our roads and the fires that we're getting on our commons and countryside. Our temperatures are getting drier and hotter, and you'll all have seen this crazy weather we get where you get the torrential rain coming down and our infrastructure is really struggling to deal with that. What that means is no matter how we look at it, and there's been a lot of political conversations going on about net zero, there's a cost to it. There's no getting away from the fact that it's going to cost us money, whether it comes in dealing with all the ramifications of net zero or it comes from being sensible and investing now in order to protect our future. That's certainly where I sit on this and where Surrey County Council continues to focus its work. The second piece of work we're doing is our progress report, which is looking at how we're doing basically. And we're trying to be very honest in that, very frank with the rest of the stakeholders, which is the public, all of the people in Surrey, about how we're doing. On the 2030 target, we have reduced our carbon by 41%, and we are on a green indicator at the moment. So we're quite satisfied with where we are right now, but we don't underestimate the challenges of dealing with the whole of the county council. We are continuing to be ambitious and we're sticking to our goals. We are not for turning ourselves on anything that we've planned to do there. A lot of it, well in fact all of that work, comes down to our Surrey officers and those key stakeholders. The Greener Futures Board, there's people that sit on the Greener Futures Board in here this evening, but all of our officers doing some tremendous work. I'm just the figurehead, so I can't take the credit for that. They're all very, very active and very passionate about this work. The 2050 target is somewhat more problematic, and we've moved down to an amber rating on that. We've got some serious concerns about the progress, all about really behaviour change. And I guess that brings me really neatly on to why businesses are so important and why we're in here this evening and why this is more than just businesses sitting alone. This is about a community and it is about behaviour change and how we're going to get to the journey we need to get on. Businesses, small and large, sorry, I'll just bring you onto that very briefly for a moment. I will just talk about Locus in a second. But businesses, no matter what their size, have the capacity to not only reduce their own carbon, but I think to really help others do it as well. So each consumer, every single person, as we know too well, has a role in what we're trying to do when it comes to the environment and reducing carbon. And so those businesses going out there, demonstrating what they're doing, us talking about this tonight and things, it's all messaging, it's all part of that behaviour change work. So I really welcome, as I said, being here this evening and all of the work that actually goes on during the year as well that you're all doing in order to make it happen. At Surrey, I can confirm we are completely committed to working with businesses and upping our game where we can. I'm not going to say we're getting it right all the time. We're doing our best in an environment that can sometimes be difficult. But events like today are a chance for us to hear from you, for you to tell us what you think we should be doing, and to share ideas and build our community. The doors are open at Surrey to have conversations with businesses throughout, and we will do our best to support you all, especially those new businesses and the smallest businesses, as we've heard of in places like Dorking this evening. This slide gives you an overview of what has gone on with Locase or Locas. I'm never sure which way to say it. I say Locas, but some people say Locase. It's been a real success story, actually, and you can see our final results from that programme. I'm grateful to the team who's made it work so effectively, but I believe we've actually got a video from Sebastian. I hope I'm right, and I hope technology is going to stay with me to show this video. I don't know how I play it, and I daren't press any buttons. So if the tech team at the back could play the video, we can hear about how Locas has worked practically on the ground.
Hi, Seb Elwell here, up on the roof of Switchfoot Wealth and Switchfoot Accounting on the top of our office, showing off the solar panels that we had installed with the help of Locase. It was a complex claim. We also had batteries, air source heat pumps, LED lighting, rework to the electrics, removal of the gas boiler. The office now generates more energy than it uses on average, but because there were two businesses making the claim on the one office, it was complicated, and Locase and the team were incredibly helpful, incredibly professional and supportive, and helped us navigate all of that complexity. So please keep up the good work. When we're up here and we pan around and have a look at all of the roofs, there is so much potential for solar to be up here decarbonising. We just have to win this fight against climate breakdown. Failure is not an option, and we just need more. Thank you for your help, but let's make sure we reach everybody.
So LOCAS has ended now, and we've got to think about what next and how we're going to roll out new programmes. We are starting with that thinking at the moment. There are a couple of grant schemes out there. The first one of those is the A3 electric vehicle grant, and the second one is the Rural England Prosperity Fund. The A3 grant is about offering grants towards electric light commercial vehicles for businesses and helping, and charities as well. I should definitely add in charities to help them switch their diesel vans. If anyone has any interest in doing that or wants to come and have a conversation with us, just please reach out. Our email addresses are publicly available, but there are members of the team, Katie sitting right there, who will be able to help us have conversations about that. And I will touch on the Rural Fund in just a moment. I'll come back to that, but I just want to mention 3 other initiatives that we're working on developing at the moment. So we have a decarbonisation loan scheme, an electric vehicle taxi grant, and a decarbonisation and business resilience course to try and help and steer people in the right direction. Now, I can appreciate these schemes might seem limited to some. They're loans rather than grants, but what we're hoping is to provide businesses with a less cumbersome approach to getting assistance and to decarbonising their businesses, as well as offering that support and helping them go through it and think about what they could do. It gives the capital, we hope, or an element of the capital, to make the changes that will enable savings in the long run. So we're really keen to roll this out and see if we can get take-up of it. And again, we'd be really, really happy to have conversations with you about how you might think about going for this loan scheme. I think it comes on board within the next sort of month or so. It's not actually live now, but it is due to happen quite soon. And just to say, we're not sitting idle. We are actively lobbying government as well about long-standing funding for businesses and looking at how we integrate our spending on decarbonisation with Surrey businesses. So not long ago, for example, we had a retrofit summit where we brought in Surrey businesses to say, as we change our estate, how can we work with you? How can we get that money sort of moving around our economy, our green economy? The other things speak for themselves, but you are more than welcome. I'm conscious I've only got 8 minutes, I think, so I don't want to go on too long about it, but please do come and speak to us or Katie or drop me an email and we will have conversations. I'm always available to do it at Teams or a Zoom with businesses. I really want to support Surrey businesses. Going back to the Rural England Prosperity Fund. So this is again for businesses and charities in rural areas to apply from between 2,500 to 50,000 grants at 50% of the cost. And it's something that's come from the government's levelling up agenda. It's through the district and borough councils, but Surrey is holding the money for that and working with businesses to spend it, basically. We're looking for projects that help the circular economy. We've spoken a lot about circles today. I couldn't agree more. Circles are definitely the best thing. We will be looking for things like repair cafes, waste into resource, green tourism, or simply reducing your energy use and lowering your carbon footprint. It is only available for 3 boroughs at the moment. There's reasons for that, and it all goes down to the government's levelling up agenda and where it thinks this money fits. But we were just having a conversation shortly ago about what a good initiative it is for very rural local businesses and how we need to think about getting that further out into other places. Mole Valley, we've heard a lot about Dorking today, haven't we? Lots of businesses from that area, and I consider that a rural area. So we need to be thinking more widely about that. On the last page, these are the contacts that you can reach out to ask us about the rural prosperity. Again, all of our emails are very simple, so you just put our name, marissa.heath@surreycc.gov.uk, and we'll have conversations with you. I'm very keen about trying to build more of a business network up in Surrey so we can tackle some of the problems facing us and work in partnership. And I would also end by just commenting that tonight we've spoken a lot about nature. It started with Michael talking about the bees and other things, and it's come through the whole evening. We are in the process of doing our nature recovery strategy and our land management framework. So nature is literally, forgive the pun, going to be the buzzword for us. I think that no matter all of the questioning that people put about net zero, and I don't think there's anyone in this room that would question net zero, but we know there may be some others outside of this room, but no one questions in my mind the value of our green space, our nature, our biodiversity. I think everyone in Surrey, every resident would want to be behind us and the work we do there. So for me, it's a huge priority, and working with rural businesses to help support that prioritisation is really, really key for us to succeed what we want to do. So thank you for listening to me this evening. As I said, I'm really happy to have been here and to have heard the awards, seen the businesses, and got to meet some of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Marisa. Inspirational, and as I said earlier, I'm from over the border, East Sussex, in the spirit of sharing, learning and radical transparency. I want to know what East Sussex is doing. So I might point them in your direction for a little bit of collaboration and co-creation, if I may. Right, so moving on to our next awards category. The sixth award of the evening is our Community Impact Award. And this is sponsored by the trademark Surrey Hills. And I would like to introduce Sue Sturgeon, who's Vice Chair of Surrey Hills Enterprises and Chair of Activate Learning.
Well, I think Marisa was, excuse me, certainly a difficult act to follow, but I'm delighted to be here. And I'm a bit of a stand-in, well, I am a stand-in for Wendy Varco, our CEO, who unfortunately has got COVID because it's clearly doing its rounds. But so Surrey Hills Enterprises, we're absolutely delighted to be able to sponsor this Community Impact Award and to be at these CREST Awards, a celebration of Surrey's sustainable business achievements. Surrey Hills Enterprises was set up in 2012 and is a membership organisation with a vibrant community of members, both businesses, individuals and other organisations. And all of our members have two things in common. One is they're passionate about sustainability, and the other is they're passionate about community development. And they come in all shapes and sizes, so probably one of our most well-known and a global member of our organisation is Silent Pool Gin, which of course is in the Surrey Hills. We're delighted to have the Clandon Wood Natural Burial Ground as one of our members, and we've got lots and lots of sole traders, people who make sausages, chocolatiers. It's amazing the talent we've got in the Surrey Hills. And we really appreciate the value that all of our members bring to the communities. And we try and promote our members to much wider audiences and encouraging communities to support them. And we do that by offering events. So we've got a Christmas market in a couple of weeks. No, actually, probably towards the end of November. We run the Wood Fair. We run markets on quite regular basis. We have lots of social media presence. And we have a publication called Surrey Hills. And I've put some outside, and I really would urge you to go through that, because if you're thinking about buying your Christmas presents from Amazon, forget it. And go and look at some of the produce and some of the things that the skilled artisans and the craftspeople can make in Surrey. And our work is really dedicated to promoting the economic well-being of our community. We have the Trademark Award, which is a platform for recognising and building reputation of our local provenance, which is about quality and sustainability. And it also really, really showcases our local businesses. And if you come into the country, if you've been on a plane and walk through Gatwick, there's a wonderful picture of the Surrey Hills, and how lucky are we to live in such a beautiful place, and long may that continue. We're a community interest company, so every bit of money we make or collect in terms of sponsorship is ploughed back into enhancing the Surrey Hills, the landscape and the local community. So this commitment really aligns seriously with the values of CREST23. So huge congratulations to all of those remarkable people that were shortlisted tonight, and to our winners. And I think together we really do envision a sustainable and thriving future for Surrey, driven by our shared commitment on positive change. So over to the nominations. So we have 3 finalists. Would you mind doing this at the back, actually? It's probably better in case I start hitting all the buttons. So we have Surrey Choices, we have Zero Carbon Guildford, and finally we have Cocoon Kids. So can we put the videos on, please? Thank you.
I'm Lydia. I'm here from the Surrey Choices Growth team. I'm here with Ollie, Colin and Davey, who are members of our team. We're really pleased to be nominated as finalists for the Community Impact Award. This is the growth team, some of the group, and we undertake countryside management tasks in all sorts of areas across Surrey, ranging from public bridleways, private gardens. We do nature reserves. We do quite a lot of work with the Surrey Hills Society, and the group learn new skills while out with us, while giving back to the local community and raising the profile of those people with disabilities within their local areas.
So we widen the paths for members of the public, make it tidier for them.
What do you do on the growth team?
Yeah.
What's that called?
Thank
Strimming.
you.
Davey's particularly good with the strimmer.
Yeah.
I enjoy being out in countryside, getting fresh air, learning new skills.
The Surrey Choices Growth team supports 25 adults with varying disabilities across Surrey, and we go out and about in the countryside, teaching countryside management skills, skills for employment, with the aim to raise the profile of people with disabilities in the local community, but also giving back with the countryside management and horticulture tasks that we undertake.
Hi, I'm Steph Bleach. I'm a volunteer at Zero Carbon Guildford. We are a Guildford-based charity, and we engage with the local people and businesses and help them understand how they can reduce their impact on the planet. Now, we know that the climate crisis is quite an overwhelming topic to discuss. So what we do is we bring it down to a local level, and we try to empower people by showing them small behavioural changes they can make in their lives that will end up having a greater impact. We have been nominated for the Community Impact Award, and for us it's about bringing together all parts of our community to help protect the future of the people and the places we hold dear.
Hi, I'm Helen from Cocoon Kids Creative Counselling and Play Therapy Kick. We're a lived experience therapeutic service that children and young people aged 3 to 19 and their families use to safely explore their experiences. We use a bottom-up sensory integratory approach that helps disadvantaged children and young people with intergenerational trauma and adverse childhood experiences to safely explore their experiences. So that we can help them to improve their mental health and well-being. We're delighted to be finalists in the Community Impact category at the CREST23 awards. In particular for ourselves, that much of our work is with children and young people who are disadvantaged in insecure housing and aren't often able to access services, and especially not longer term services. Our e-cargo trike, which is part of this nomination, we use that to go into our community. Many of our families are young carers, so they can't always access the services easily, but our e-cargo trike means we can take our whole kit to them, and that can be at different times of the day, so work around whenever works best for them. At the minute we go into 6 different schools. We've got another 2 on our list who've just asked for sessions as well. So we do outreach in schools, we do social services work, and also directly with children and people and their families as well. And the e-cargo trike is part of that sustainable work that we can do in our community.
I'm absolutely delighted to announce that the winner of the Community Impact Award is Surrey Choices.
proud to accept this award for the people that we support. There's a big push within Surrey Choices to improve social inclusion in the countryside. People with learning disabilities are really underrepresented, and it's great to show off all the conservation work that we do across the county. Yeah, thank you very much. This is for the growth team.
Thank you, and congratulations to Surrey Choices. Now, for our next award, we have another Sustainability Impact Award, but this one is for larger businesses. This is for businesses with an annual turnover of over £1 million. And this award is sponsored by Holdsway. And I understand that Nick, who is the founding partner for Holdsway, is not able, unfortunately, to be with us this evening. So, Terry, you are going to step in on his behalf.
Well, that's half my speech gone. Right. Yes, Nick Diprose, he was planning to be here tonight to present the award, but a direct clash, he's unable to make it. But before we continue, let's hear from him.
Hello, CREST23. My name's Nick Diprose. I'm the founder of Holdsway, and we're thrilled to be supporting CREST for the third year running. We established Holdsway 10 years ago in Woking, and we're now one of the leaders in interim management. We provide leadership and change management expertise to companies during times of change, turnaround, crisis and uncertainty. Our interim executives have launched electric vehicles, sustainable banknotes, built solar energy infrastructure and designed medical technology. We call them expert game changers because they are the catalyst of business change. We've partnered with CREST from the beginning. They too are expert game changers, inspiring and accelerating the action needed for a sustainable world. Sustainable change also means engaging with people, and this is why Carol Miller and Terry Tidbury have had such an impact with these awards, encouraging us to think and act differently, and we salute them both. Holdsway is sponsoring the Sustainability Impact Award for businesses turning over more than 1 million. The shortlist acknowledges companies taking a lead in making a positive impact on people's lives through their products, services, well-being policies, supply chains, location, investment or business models. These companies are consistently improving people's lives through their day-to-day business practices. This award sees the highest number of entries. So congratulations to all those shortlisted, and a huge thank you to all those businesses across Surrey working towards a sustainable future. Now back to Carol and Terry to announce the winner. Thank you.
Right, the finalists are Clean Curl, Best Control, Sea Change Wine, and Waverley Hopper. I'm very pleased to announce the winner is Waverley Hopper.
Hello, my name's Paul Bates. I'm one of the directors of Clean.
Oh, I've done that wrong.
Thank you, Joanna. What an amazing honour
to be awarded this when I've listened to all the other businesses that have been around as candidates for all of the awards this evening. Hopper is all about the provision of sustainable mobility, your words, Joanne, for the isolated, vulnerable and disabled in Waverley Borough. Sustainable mobility for us means three things. First of all, as we are a charity, financial sustainability is critical. And that's why Susie, as our trustee responsible for fundraising, is here on the stage with me. She has been personally responsible for raising over £100,000 for Waverley Hopper for our environmental change campaign and raising funds for buying electric vehicles and electric charge points and all of that transformation cost. The second aspect of sustainability for us is our environmental sustainability. That's not just buying a new electric vehicle and scrapping a diesel vehicle, although we started doing that. The next thing we want to do is we want to experiment with converting existing diesel vehicles that have got an awful lot of reusability in them to electric, taking out the diesel motor and putting in electrics. And the third aspect of sustainability is societal sustainability. That means making sure that our definition of isolated, vulnerable and disabled people moves down the generations, not just the elderly people who have been our client base for most of the last 20 years, but moving down to other people, younger people, whose need is as great, and we just haven't identified them yet. So that's what we'll be doing for the next 20 years as a change from the past 20 years. Thank you very much. What an honour. Thank you.
Congratulations to Waverley Hopper, but I would just like to take a moment, if we could, to step back and just hear about the other nominees as well. We got so excited about hearing who'd won. This was, as you heard, we had, I think, more applications in the shortlist for this than any other award. So let's just hear about those other nominees as well. I wouldn't want them to lose their moment in the spotlight. Can we do that?
Hello, my name's Paul Bates. I'm one of the directors of Clean Kill Pest Control. Pest control is one of those hidden industries that people don't really know a lot about until they get a problem. But virtually every university, every office block in London, across the UK, has a pest control contract for prevention rather than cure. Pest control as an industry is not something that's often connected with sustainability, but as a company, we want to reduce the amount of pesticides that are used in the environment. We're now using methods such as motion sensor cameras. We are using ultraviolet detection, and we now even have our own team of hawks and falconers, which we use to keep pigeons off buildings. Ideally, we want to drastically reduce the amount of pesticides that are used. Insecticides in particular can find their way into watercourses. Rodenticides, when they're used indiscriminately by farmers and the like, can then lead to secondary poisoning, which will kill owls and other birds of prey, which we drastically want to prevent happening. We are one of the only members of the Bat Conservation Trust. Several of our team have beehives, because obviously honeybees need to be protected as far as possible. Therefore, we want for this generation and generations to come to reduce the amount of pesticides that are used within the industry. And that's why we are up for the Sustainability Impact Award, over £1 million.
Hi, I'm Debbie and I'm from Sea Change Wine. We're a finalist in the Sustainability Impact Awards and we're delighted to be here. We're the wine brand with a conscience, and we do things a little bit differently to help consumers reduce their impact on the environment by their choice of food and wine. So we've removed all the unnecessary packaging on our bottles, there's no foils on our Prosecco, the labels are made partly from grape waste and they're slightly lighter weight bottles. And for every bottle sold, we donate to our marine charity partners who are working to try and protect our ocean. We're delighted to be here. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Richard Davis and I'm the General Manager of Waverley Hopper Community Transport. We're also very excited to be up for the Sustainability Impact Award this year at CREST23. As I said before, we offer a range of transport solutions to anyone in Waverley that cannot access normal transport. We're constantly looking for new ideas and new ways of improving our services and engaging in the community to find out what the community really needs from a community transport organisation. Currently, we're looking at trying to find funding for additional routes, one from Cranley into Royal Surrey Hospital and another one operating from Farnham into Frimley Park Hospital. We're also building our following on social media to try and reduce the age of our average customer. We're very successful at marketing our services to the elderly, but we want to make our services available for all ages across Waverley and anyone that has a genuine transport need.
Well, congratulations to all the finalists in that category, because as you can see, the standard was exceptionally high. Well, before we move on to our final award of the evening, I'd just like to reflect a little bit. I mean, wow. So this is, I didn't know this, the UK's third smallest county. Well, it seems to me it's become a bit of a hotspot for sustainable business. I mean, in these last 3 years that you two have run this game-changing award scheme, as I said at the beginning, the standard of entries, I feel, has grown exponentially. I don't know about the volume of entries, but I understand that that's grown too. And what I'm really struck by is the diversity of businesses, of different areas of endeavour that you're all working in. And we talked earlier about the fact that, you know, what is sustainability? Well, it's really a fundamental reconsideration of the question of how we live, of how we design our everyday lives, our industries, our places, and our society in a way that's better for us as individuals, is better for the natural world that we rely on, is more equitable, and really allows us to sustain ourselves. You know, we talked earlier about the sustainable businesses are going to be the ones, literally, that in the next 5, 10 or 15 years are still here, that are surviving and I think are thriving and are helping us as individuals, as places, as a society to thrive. And I'm really touched. Sorry, I get all emotional. You know, it's just... It's very easy to feel disheartened. And evenings like this make you have hope. So thank you. I clearly need more sleep. Right. So now, let's, without further ado, move on to our last award of the night. So this is our 8th award, which is the Sustainability Hero Award. Now, businesses can't enter this award. This award is the judge's choice. And so we're revealing the finalists tonight, and I'm going to hand over to Sarah Butcher, who's the head of membership for Surrey Chambers of Commerce. Sarah.
Thank you, Terry. Beautifully summed up, Joanna. Absolutely fantastic. You nearly set me off as well. Good evening, everybody. Surrey Chambers of Commerce is really proud to be supporting the 2023 CREST Awards again this year. As Surrey's largest not-for-profit business support and networking organisation, we are privileged to be involved in many exciting initiatives across the county, and CREST Awards is certainly one of these. At the Chambers, we are working hard with our partners to ensure the business community is supported and has access to information and advice to help them on their journey towards becoming more sustainable, greener and environmentally friendly businesses. And with that in mind, Surrey Chambers is keen to lead by example and is currently in the process of working towards B Corp accreditation. Sustainability is the balance between the environment, the economy, and ethics. We've also set up Surrey Climate Change Hub, which aligns closely with the activities of CREST Awards and CREST Consortium. There is still a lot of noise out there around net zero, carbon neutral, green economy, sustainability, biodiversity, and climate. And our aim is to help cut through that noise for businesses and bring them the information that they need, along with our links with government initiatives, the British Chamber of Commerce, Net Zero Hub, Surrey Climate Commission, and other key stakeholders that we work with. The CREST Sustainability Hero Award acknowledges the impact an individual can make to the sustainability agenda by inspiring and leading others to change. This award is presented to a person who has gone above and beyond in bringing about sustainable change within their organisation or wider community, and who judges select from entries from the other 5 categories. This award is based purely on the judges' panel choice, having assessed all the businesses, organisations and individuals who are presented in the category entries. And now, could we reveal the finalists, please? Nature Reclaimed, Surrey Choices, and Zero Carbon Guildford. And the videos, please.
So my name's Katie Markward and I'm the company director and founder of Nature Reclaimed. At Nature Reclaimed, we make candles, vases, lamps and tumblers, all from upcycled bottles to give the glass another life. We've been shortlisted for the Sustainability Hero Award, which is really important to us because sustainability is the whole ethos behind our brand. We started the business because of a rise in litter during lockdown. I think a lot of people were scared about picking up other people's litter, which they might have done before, and a lot more people were socialising in public places than they might have done before because everyone wanted to be outside to keep safe. So it began with litter picking and it's ended with a business. We really look at sustainability in every element of our business. So we try to reduce carbon throughout the production of our products. So a lot of people don't realise that recycling is only a 40% less carbon use than creating a whole new bottle. So we're really proud that since the beginning of our business, we've upcycled over 3,000 bottles, which is a reduction in carbon spend of over 900 kilograms. And we look at that through the whole production of our products. So we've got solar panels on our roof to produce the energy that we need to cut the bottles. And we deliver using an EV, which we were lucky to have supported through the low case funding. It's really important to us as a business that we're sustainable, and one of the ways that we do that is by promoting sustainability. So we also make sure that there's lots of talk about sustainability on our social channels. We'll regularly put out on there if we've been for a litter pick. And we also founded a sustainability market on our local high street in Reigate, which will be celebrating its first year in November.
Hi, my name's Mark. I'm a senior vocational support worker for a company called Surrey Choices. We support people with a range of needs to help them fill out their full potential and lead more independent lives. Our most recent project that I feel really proud to be part of is protecting veteran yew trees across the Albury Downs. Me and the team have helped to put up dead hedge boundaries to stop people walking amongst the yew trees and compressing the soil, which is one of the reasons why these 1,000-year-old trees are rapidly in decline. I feel honoured to be nominated for this award, and it'll really help to raise the profile of the work that people with support needs do across Surrey and their commitment to improving the natural environment. This helped create a sustainable culture in the countryside for generations to come. With the nomination from CREST, we're going to make great big differences across the countryside, and thank you very much for your support.
Hi, my name is Ben McCallan. I have been involved with the charity Zero Carbon Guildford, which does a few things. It runs a large 16,000 square foot space in the town centre of Guildford, which is a community-led hub focused on tackling the climate and nature crisis. In partnership with the University of Surrey, we set up the Sustainable Business Network to help local small and medium enterprises in Surrey to achieve net zero ambitions. And on top of that, we also run in-person energy surveys to help Surrey residents decarbonise their household. I started dealing with community organising on climate change about 4 or 5 years ago, largely sparked by the IPCC report that came out about that time, and having a little girl, she's 6 now, and feeling responsibility to try to protect her future. So firstly, I just want to say a huge thank you to everybody who put me forward for this. It's very nice to be sort of recognised all the hard effort. Secondly, it's a little bit embarrassing, I suppose, being called a hero, because when you think about a hero in any sense, sustainability or not, it's one person probably in a cape by themselves doing something to tackle insurmountable issues, and that has not been the case with Zero Carbon Guildford at all. It's been a huge concerted effort by dozens, if not hundreds of people over the last few years. And although you probably hear me talking about it a lot, behind the scenes there are countless people that put effort into this. So I would probably want to say on behalf of this, if I win it, then I would accept it on behalf of everybody who's been involved here, really. And I think that applies to tackling the climate and nature crisis more broadly as well. No individual or organisation can ever hope to deal with something as insurmountable as climate change by themselves. And what we really need is unprecedented collaboration among people from all walks of life, all organisations. So to sign off, an enormous thank you to everybody for putting me forward for this, and a plea that we continue to collaborate across all fronts and make Surrey a real leader in trying to avert the worst of the climate and nature crisis. Thanks very much.
And I'm delighted to announce that the winner of the 2023 CREST Sustainability Hero Award winner is Ben McCallan from Zero Carbon Guildford. But I'm delighted that Katie Sargent, the Greener Futures Partnership Manager from Surrey County Council, is here to accept the award on Ben's behalf.
Can't be here today. So I work with Ben at Surrey County Council. I know his colleagues from Zero are also here, and definitely deserve the recognition that he has sort of made the point of sharing with them. So Ben works full-time at Surrey in the Greener Futures team. He does a load of really incredible stuff with us. And then in addition to that is a full-time volunteer at Zero and a dad. So I think that probably does deserve the hero title. But he did ask me to sort of say a few words, and just to make that point again, that this is really not something that he's done in isolation. He talks a lot about a lot of really interesting and exciting initiatives, but there's a huge amount of activity and involvement from a lot of people involved in making those things happen. I mean, Zero has, it's incredible what has been achieved. I think you were mentioned by the Prime Minister recently, and you know, it's just really incredible to have that organisation in Surrey, reaching out and being really collaborative with all of the other grassroots community groups as well. So that network really is very strong in Surrey, and it's great that it's recognised here tonight. Thank you.
Congratulations to Ben and the team. Now, final words to you, I think, Terry and Carol.
Okay. So, it's the end of it, and we got through it brilliantly. Thank you, everybody. We would like to have a final photo shoot of our winners, the sponsors, representatives and speakers. But before I do, can I just thank everyone who's helped CREST23 Awards, all of those people, the sponsors, supporters, entrants, and of course our wonderful presenters. A big thank you to the WWF and the backstage team, and of course who include Dreaming Fish, our wonderful production team. Thank you everyone for coming. Sadly, the climate crisis is not going to end when we go home tonight, so I would ask you for your continued support and invite you to join us again for the next CREST Business Convention. And I'd also like to remind winners, don't forget to take your vouchers home with you as well as those trophies. So now may I ask winners and sponsors and the speakers if you would make your way onto the stage, and we're all going to cuddle up for the camera. Yes, please, for the camera.